What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Open Table Sports Daily Recap. A little bit of a part two, missed last night while I was doing the Mario Chaos and the Kid podcast. Go and check that out. We were doing episode 14, I think, last night. We're rolling on that. We have the new Open Table Sports Daily Recap going on now. Today we're covering February 20th with talking about a little bit of what happened February 19th since we missed it. Right now it's just going to be me and Dom. What's going on, Dom?
Yeah, going pretty well. How's it going, Matt?
It's going pretty good. Chilling today. We had no school. Class was canceled at the University of Bridgeport. I don't know if you had any classes today. I know I didn't.
I had a couple. Had a 9:30 and a 4:30.
Nah, come on, Dom. I'm surprised we had snow up here. We're based out of Connecticut, Open Table Sports. So we get some snow where we are here. So right now we're going to get into a little bit of the MLB. Not much happened. The main thing of our daily recap is obviously the name is pretty simple. We're recapping the day. I don't know how much simpler that can get, Dom.
No, this doesn't get much simpler than that.
Open Table Sports Daily Recap. So remember, we're still doing our big podcast on Friday where we have the entire team. We do it at the Open Table Sports studio at University of Bridgeport. So we're still going to keep those rolling. We go live at 1:30 on Fridays for our big ones. These we do nightly, depending on the time. We'll tweet it out. Just let us know how you like them. So we're going to get into
10 on Friday.
What was that?
Episode 10 on Friday.
We got the big one coming on Friday. So right now we're going to get into the Padres signing shortstop, third baseman, depending on what they want to do with him. Most likely shortstop, but if something happens, maybe third base. I'll just say infielder, because now in today's age of literally any sport, you could play tons of positions.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with baseball now today. Like, look at DJ LeMahieu. He's probably going to be playing second, short. He's probably going to see some first and third spot.
Yeah.
And Miguel Andujar for the Yankees, he's going to be playing. Even for my Brewers, Moustakas is going to be playing second base.
Yeah, that's
And then Travis Shaw at third, and then you had Bryce Harper telling teams he's willing to play first base.
Yeah, it's crazy. Seems like they want to, they'll play anywhere nowadays. All 9 shots.
And then you look at Marwin Gonzalez, free agent, still on the market. He'll play anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of players like that. So Manny Machado getting 10 years, $300 million. Not a dollar less, not a dollar more. I heard it's $300 million exactly.
Yeah, no, it's an insane amount of money. I think it's the highest contract in all of sports. I don't know. That's a lot of money, $30 million. And he had a contract there sitting 8 years, $250 million, which is a higher average. So I don't understand why he wouldn't take that contract over this. But he's got the option after the 4th or 5th year with this contract?
Yeah, after the 5th. But I think he gets traded in like 2 or 3 years, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I can't see him wanting to stay here. He said he hated playing in the West Coast, so he stays here. And is he gonna really get to play in the playoffs? That's the thing.
I think it's dumb. I think he's wasting his career away. I don't really see anything happening with him in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
There's really, they're gonna have to add a lot more pieces. No starting pitching. You have no bullpen. Basically, people are saying, they have Will Myers and Eric Hosmer and Margot and who else did Mark say in the group chat?
Oh, they can't. It's nothing worth going to. And now, to get starting pitching with what money now? You just threw all your money at Manny Machado.
That one player. And I know he's an insanely good player. He can give you really good stats, but you're a small market team. Even though you're in a beautiful city, beautiful state. I would consider a big market because it's California. It's only 2 hours away from LA. It's the only team in San Diego, so you're going to attract more people that way. I've been to that park. So, it's a really nice park, but would I want to play there for their team now? I would have taken the less money and go with the Phillies or the Yankees.
Yeah. At that point, if you're above the 200 million figures, what are you gaining by getting to up to 300 million? At that point, I'd be taking the 250 or the 240 and a chance to win a World Series than to just get 300 on a contract that you're probably not going to finish.
Because you know what he could do? You just signed the 200 because the Yankees wanted to go 220 to 240. Mm-hmm. I would have taken the 220 from the Yankees, and then when you win the World Series with them, you just sell the ring for the extra money.
There you go. I mean, it's like you got to do.
I wouldn't be like in the beginning of free agency when things were just starting to form, like in late October, early November. I was like, Machado to the Brewers would be kind of cool. We needed a shortstop. Well, I mean, we do have Orlando Arcia, but I mean, he's still growing, and he can also play like second base or third. He's one of those guys that can move around.
Yeah.
My thing is, if you can play either any infield position, you could. If you play like shortstop, I think you could play any position. You could play shortstop, third, or second, but not every first baseman could play shortstop. You know what I mean? Because you have some first basemen like Encarnacion, Bird, Goldschmidt, like some guys that if you put them at the middle of the infield, they're not going to do as good. So, I mean, I don't know. I just think the whole Machado thing is just weird. Like at the beginning, no one thought the Padres at all. They kind of crept in like the past month or so, month or two. I was kind of like, I think he's wasting his career there.
Oh, yeah.
That's my opinion. I think he's wasting his career.
Yeah, it's just not smart. And I guess this really shows the Yankees how much trust they have in Miguel Andujar, and they trust him to, you know.
Well, he's been working on his defense.
And he's been working on his defense a lot. Yeah, I think he's going to look really good this year at third base. And I think, you know, this isn't going to hurt the Yankees at all. They'll be fine.
I heard they might flex him at first or even second, I heard. They might flip over LeMahieu to third, and that I don't know. That infield for the Yankees is going to be insane.
Yeah, they could put anyone anywhere almost, and they'll be fine.
Tulowitzki, he could play anywhere. And Duhar, I wouldn't put him at short. I would probably put him at second or first. But I mean,
Glaber could play second or short.
Even third. He worked out third before. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be crazy what the Yankees do. Even with my Brewers infield. They got Moustakas going to play second. If Shaw, who's going to play third. Aguilar, top five first. We have top five at each position. Moustakas is a top five. Well, I mean, if he's playing second baseman, whether he's second or third, he's still a top five in that position.
Yeah.
Aguilar, he's a top five first baseman. Arcia, he's not top five. He can get there. He's very young. Lower 20s, mid 20s. So, I mean, he has a lot of room to grow. I think this year's his year to break out. He's my breakout candidate for the Brewers this year.
He's got a lot of potential. I think he'll.
He did good in the playoffs last year.
I think he can make a stand for getting into that top five. You know,
I think area. I think he can. I think he can be like almost Didi Gregorius.
Yeah. Oh, and the Yankees when Didi Gregorius comes back, I mean that infield just gets stronger. And
I don't know. I think they're going to trade Bird, but I heard Bird, his swing's a lot better. He's making a lot more contact. He changed his swing up a little bit, making an impact on the ball. Watch out for Bird this year. He might actually beat Voit out for that first.
Yeah, if he stays healthy too. I mean,
plus the Yankees need another left-handed bat.
Yeah.
Look at that entire infield. I don't know why. I count Sanchez. I mean, I count the catching position as the infield. I don't know why. Because you can't get more infield than the catching position.
Yeah.
So Sanchez is a righty, third baseman, whether it's in Duhar or whoever, and Duhar's a righty, Tulowitzki's a righty, LeMahieu and Torres, they're both righties. Voigt's a righty. You can look in the outfield, Stanton's a righty.
Judge is a righty.
Judge is righty. The only left-handed batters you have are just Bird and Gardner.
Yeah. And they got to.
And then Hicks is a switch. And then, I don't know. The Yankees team is going to be interesting because they need a left-hand bat. That's what I'm saying. Don't count them out for Harper, but I think Harper's going to the Phillies. I think that's a done deal. So next we'll move into Tyler Clippard, relieving pitcher, signing with the Indians.
Not really.
He gets passed around. Who has he played for? He's played for the Yankees, the Blue Jays.
Blue Jays, yeah.
I'm trying to think of who else he played for. The Astros he was with for a little bit. I don't know. He's been on a lot of teams. He's not really that special. So there's really not much to say about him. The Indians do need bullpen help. But, I mean, this isn't that much of a help. Another team out of the AL Central, the Tigers signing infielder Josh Harrison. I don't know how this guy went so late on a one-year deal. I heard it was around like $8 million, but I mean, he went this literally February 20th, and this dude just went.
Mm-hmm.
He was the best player one of the best players in the Pirates.
And a lot of that's probably, due to Machado taking this long to sign. But, I mean, we all know, all the rest of the free agents are about to go flying, and they're about to get signed left and right.
Yeah, I tweeted that out on my thing, Degnan_Matt on my Twitter. Dom, you just made a new, well, not a page, but you made a handle.
Yeah, at DomCaps11, follow me, follow Matt, get some more exclusive stuff from us,
Yeah, sometimes we tweet out some exclusive reports on our Twitter, but most importantly, follow the Open Table Sports.
Of course.
Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. What else are we on? We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Just got up on Facebook. Subscribe to this YouTube. SoundCloud. We're getting up there. I think we're talking about maybe, getting some, a really cool thumbnail for the SoundCloud podcast,
Yeah.
Get our faces on there.
Yeah, we're going to have a little meet the OTS team type of vibe.
Yeah. We want you guys to see the people behind OTS.
Or as Big Daddy likes to say, the cream team.
Oh, yeah.
Big Daddy's our biggest fan, the Guardian of Chaos. You can go follow him, Big Daddy GOC. That does stand for the Guardian of Chaos. You can hear me, him, and Mario Mancini on the MCK podcast. Mario Chaos. I'm the kid, Matt Degnan. So go check that out. Next, we'll move into some NHL. The Bruins acquiring right wing Charlie Coyle for Ryan Donato and a 5th-round pick from the Wild. What are your thoughts on that, Dom?
Charlie Coyle, he's 26.
He's got 28 points on the season, I think.
Yeah, he's not doing too bad. He's having, I'd say just around what he's done his whole career since entering the league in 2012.
That's a pretty solid deadline pickup. A 5th rounder and some other clown I never heard of.
Yeah. No, he's definitely good, and he gives you durability. He doesn't get injured. From 2014 through 2017, he didn't miss a game. He missed like 16 games last year, but I don't think he's missed a game this year either. So it definitely provides some durability.
The Bruins are in prime playoff contention. I know they were in on Kevin Hayes as well. Maybe they use a trade for him. It's going to be a little bit of a market change for him because you go from Minnesota to Boston. So that's going to be a little bit of a change for him. But who knows? I think I'm trying to think of what team he was on before, because I thought someone said he was on the Bruins before.
No, he's been on Minnesota his whole career.
It must have been someone else then. So I know the Bruins, they were in on Kevin Hayes as well. We'll see what happens. This trade deadline is going to start popping off in a little bit. Dom will have that on the Open Table Sports social media accounts, whatever it may be, wherever you follow us. Just make sure you're followed on every account. So this deadline is going to be crazy.
Deadline Monday, so expect a lot to happen over the weekend to the NHL.
Next Friday, we're going to have a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
So next in our other category, I guess you could say, because there's really a couple things for each. Roger Federer confirms he will play the clay court tournament in Madrid. Sources say Daniel Bryan will be facing Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 35 for the WWE title. We know Kevin Owens is injured right now. He had double knee surgery. So that's right now. That's what's scheduled. In WWE, we all know things can change just like that. So WWE superstar Ty Dillinger has requested his release from WWE, and it will likely be granted. He hasn't been used that much. We've been seeing a lot of WWE superstars ask for their releases. You know how that goes in WWE. If you're not being used, you just want to jump ship. Maybe he goes to AEW. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of other things. MLW, ROH, Impact, New Japan Pro Wrestling. The whole shtick is if you leave WWE now, you're going to AEW. Who knows? AEW is trying to expand their roster even more than they have now. So, that's going to be crazy. So Steve Stryker named captain of the U.S. team for the 2020 Ryder Cup. A little bit of some golf news. This is why we're Open Table Sports. We cover everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about us, Dom. We're not like one or two sports. We don't call ourselves like we don't call ourselves a page that covers all sports, but we really only cover like 3.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some of those where it's like something sports news or like the sports report or something like that. And then like they cover like only NFL, NBA, and like MLB.
Yeah,
like,
no.
NASCAR, NHL, tennis, golf, MMA, WWE.
Yeah.
Who cares? Cover everything. That's the dope thing about it. So NBA. Pelicans asked the NBA. This is crazy. Pelicans asked the NBA if they can sit Anthony Davis. They literally asked the association if they could sit a player. It's like the Giants. Can we sit Eli for the rest of the year? Like, you know how stupid that sounds?
Yeah.
Like a team asking, like, what?
Can we sit our best player?
Yeah.
We allowed to sit our best player? Like
what? It's like the Dodgers be like, hey, can we sit Clayton Kershaw for the rest of the year? We're not making the playoffs, and he's going to be gone after this season anyway.
Yeah.
So there's no point in playing him. What? That's such a slap in the face. Well, Anthony Davis knows he's leaving anyway, and he asked for a trade. But I mean, like, they literally asked, like, it's like asking your boss, like, oh, I'm just going to sit this one out. Like, what?
Yeah.
What? That's crazy to me.
It's a joke. I mean, what? It's just like,
and they call it professional sports.
Yeah, so
that's not professional at all. Even in high school, they don't do that. You think like a high school coach goes to the principal of the school or whatever and says like, "Oh, is it cool if I sit Matt the rest of the season? We're not making the playoffs, and he's going to be transferring after this year."
What?
For like college,
it's like childish.
It's like Duke. Them saying, "Oh, we're just going to sit Zion until the tournament because there's no point because he's leaving after this year anyway. So, and the tournament's the only thing that counts. So we're just going to sit him."
Yeah. The Patriots are going to sit Tom Brady from week 8 on because they know they already won the AFC East. So, like, why should he play till the playoffs? Like,
that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Asking the association to sit someone. You think the NBA is going to grant that?
I mean, they'll let him sit him, but I mean, keep hitting him with those fines, every game. But
no, they're going to try to do it without fines. Like, hey, look, we're not making the playoffs, and he's going to be gone after the season. That's going to be their pitch. No playoffs, and he's going to be gone. So what's the point of playing him? If
you don't see that in NFL. Like,
yeah, they would just be like, we'll give him all his money up front, like the rest of because you get per game checks, which a lot of people don't know, and they're clowns. Players get paid per game. They get per game checks. Most of them. Sometimes they get paid per year, and there's like incentives and stuff like that. But most of them get paid per game. That's what happens in football a lot of times. They get paid per game.
Yeah, it's probably how they want it.
Because they sign those little 10-day contracts sometimes, and you get a game check per game. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be crazy with Anthony Davis, see where he goes. I don't know. I want him to come to the Knicks.
But I'd want him too. But
Lakers, Bucks, maybe Clippers. I don't know. That's going to be interesting to see where he goes.
Yeah, if we could, see him go. If he goes to the Knicks, then that'll draw another big player, either Kyrie or Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hopefully things are on the upswing, next year for the Knicks.
They're going to need a huge upswing from being the worst record.
Yeah, the New York market ain't going to let them sit here for years on a rebuild.
It's crazy. Like the past 5 years, New York sports have been awful.
Yeah.
Awful. The only thing is the Islanders. Who would have ever thought that the Islanders would be the only good New York team right now?
They used to be the worst team. That's the crazy part.
But the Yankees have maybe 3 years ago, Yankees didn't even make the playoff, or 4 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Playoffs for the first time in a million years, and people were up in arms about it. It's relax.
Ever since the Rangers, ever since they made the Stanley Cup final, they haven't been as good.
Yeah. Even like the New York Liberty. They've been awful. The WNBA team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm going to vow this to everyone watching right now. We're going to get more WNBA news on Open Table Sports.
And
We're going to do that.
Get that following in here.
Yeah. We'll get the woman into Open Table Sports.
Yeah.
Some more news out of the NBA. 76ers center Joel Embiid will be out 1 week with left knee soreness. Not that I think about it. We've had WNBA news on here before.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing something.
We've had like 5 or 6 things, but
a couple times in the rundown on the podcast.
Yeah. 76ers center Joel Embiid will be out 1 week with left knee soreness. He had an MRI today, depending on when you're listening. Well, I mean, it's the daily recap.
Yeah.
If you look down below, the description literally says on February 20th, 2019. I hope I didn't put 2018 because it's still like in the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing that at school sometimes, putting 2018. I look like a clown.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to get used to it. But I mean, Joel Embiid being out, I mean, they already clinched the playoffs. So I mean, well, without him, that's going to be tough. Because now they lost, even though Fultz wasn't playing, but like think of it, no Fultz, no Embiid for a week. But Fultz in Orlando, that's a good move.
Yeah,
I like that. They didn't really give up a lot. They gave up like Jonathan Simmons and wait, no, didn't they give 2 first rounders?
I think so. That it's either 1 or 2 of them.
And I think now that I think about it, I think they did give up 2 first rounders. I don't like that trade now that I think about it.
It might be a little too much.
The trade sucks, but him going to Orlando is a good move. You know where I'm at?
Yeah. No, I got it.
Was awful, but him being in Orlando is good.
Mm-hmm.
What they gave up was terrible, but getting him like in that position is good.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. Hopefully he could bounce back. I don't know. Right now he's hit a brick wall.
Mm-hmm. No, it's might be one of those mid-season things. But he's got like 20 games to get it figured out before the playoffs.
Playoffs? The Magic?
Well, I mean, or the end of the season for them. My bad. I mean, to prove some value.
Even you saying Magic and playoffs in the same sentence?
Yeah, no, it's scary. Hey,
come on. I don't know what we're going to do with you.
The Knicks and Suns, I think they're still looking good for the finals. I mean, I think.
I think they're out. Oh, no, not out of the playoffs. So, like, I think if they lose, because they're 31, something like that, they're 10. 20, I think if they lose like 5 more games, I think I said this like a couple days ago. I think if they lose like 5 more games, then they're considered out of the playoffs completely.
So when they lose the next 5 games, so
hopefully, like I'm literally rooting any team but the Knicks.
Yeah,
like that's my mindset right now for the next 25 NBA games is anybody but the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want Zion though. I hope he can translate to the NBA.
Yeah, I think.
I feel like he's like a 70-30. Like 70% he's going to translate and like 30% he's not going to translate. You know what I mean?
I've always thought it was easier for to college basketball to the NBA transition than it is from college football to the NFL transition.
Well, because my thing is, it's weird. I always say this. NFL, they play more defense than college. Mm-hmm. But NBA, they play less defense in the pros than college.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of tips the scale for me, is they play more defense in professional football than professional basketball. Mm-hmm. So that's why I think it's easier to transition in pro basketball than pro football.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like a quarterback. But if you're a defensive player and you're going from not playing defense, because like you got to think of it. Look at these college games. It's like 75-2. Like,
yeah.
It's like, I know obviously games don't end 75-2 people. So don't comment, oh, that's not a real score. Like, I'm just saying the margin of victory is insane in college football. And that's why I don't like college sports.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same good teams every year because when you think of it, UConn women's basketball, even though I'm a fan of them, we're from Connecticut. Dom's from New Jersey, though. So UConn women's basketball, they're always going to get the best recruits. Alabama football is always going to get the best recruits for years to come. It's not like pro sports where you have players that play for 10 years with one team and then retire, or you sign a player for 2 years and then they leave, or you sign like 1 year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they don't have cap space in college. So you can bring in 10 of the best recruits and like you don't have like a cap hit.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think they should start doing limits on how many recruits you can get, or because you know how the recruits are in like tiers or like ranks. I think each school should get a certain amount of recruits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think that these schools should just get all these recruits. Because even look at college basketball, Duke's the same team every year. Kentucky, you look at Gonzaga, even though I'm a Gonzaga fan, it's just these are the same good teams every year, and that's when I like watching college sports.
Yeah, I think you need some because in college football, it's almost so predictable who's going to make the Final Four, like from the beginning of the season, unless teams like Michigan State have an off year or whatever, or what but teams like Rutgers and Illinois, like they have no shot because they don't get any recruits, and they're going to get 2 wins in the season because all the recruits are like 3-star recruits, while the rest of the Big Ten or the SEC, they've got all the 4- and 5-star recruits, all they want.
Yeah, that's why the only thing I watch for college sports is just college basketball playoffs, March Madness. Because that's when you have the upsets. That's when it's really unpredictable because you have all the teams. We look at college football, you got 4 teams in the playoffs. You know what I mean? As I look at UCF, they went undefeated for 3 years straight, or they had 1 loss this season.
Yeah.
You're not going to get in because of strength of schedule. It's always going to be Alabama, Clemson, one of those teams.
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to – it's just college sports. It's boring to me.
I think they're fun to watch. It's just maybe not when Alabama's playing some, FCS team,
Yeah, the only thing I like about college football is just recruiting the players to the Chargers. That's literally it. Just watching them and see who the Chargers are going to draft. That's it. I don't watch it for fandom, I guess you could say, even though I'm a Texas fan, but who knows? But we'll get into pro football right now. The Raiders are expected to stay in Oakland at the Oakland Coliseum for 2019 and possibly the 2020 season. They're still going to suck wherever they are.
Yep. I mean.
So they're going to need a lot of help. I heard that the Raiders, they like Kyler Murray a lot.
I mean, do they move from Derek Carr?
Maybe Derek Carr to the Giants?
No, I've heard so much about that. I don't think he'll go to the Giants. You hear all of this stuff about the Giants,
trading for a QB
and and then how they said, the locker room was they think they should pass on a QB in the draft.
Yeah, some players in the Giants locker room think they should pass on a QB in this year's draft.
I mean, either way, Eli's going to play this year. He's going to be the starter this year. He's going to enter his 16th season.
Maybe they release him.
They're not going to release him. It'd be so much dead cap space. Just it's a mess. And honestly, if they use him this year and they get some defensive help, they have a shot at the division because that division is so up and down every year. We haven't seen a back-to-back winner since 2003, 2004. So
I don't know. Redskins aren't winning it. I don't see the Giants winning it. I think it's going to be between the Eagles and the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are going to take it.
I think the Giants are going to – I think they're going to be right there because at the end of last year, they played fine. The offense was great at the end of last year, and they scored the most points in the NFC East out of all the teams. So their offense looks fine. I think
Haskins, if his 1 year behind Eli, I think it's a guarantee Haskins is going to the Giants. I think 1 year behind Eli is really going to help him. So in a couple of years, I can say they're going to be definite winners, but hopefully they don't trade Eli.
Well, Eli is going to be – he's going to be a great mentor because he's going to be a good guy to learn from.
I heard they might trade Eli.
I can't see it. They're not going to trade Eli.
You saw that trade. It was Eli and the Giants' first rounder for Bortles and their first rounder or something like that. I don't know. I saw some.
That'd be silly. That'd be silly. Bortles is not better than Eli.
Maybe the Jaguars. Can you imagine if the Jaguars released Bortles and then the Giants signed him and then they draft Haskins as well? So then you have Eli, Bortles, and Haskins.
Well, here's the problem. I think the Jags would end up taking Haskins before the Giants.
Unless I could see the Giants trading up.
That's the one thing I've heard is the Giants maybe trading up to prevent the Jaguars from taking Haskins from them.
But I think the Jaguars are more needy for a quarterback if they do end up – because if they release Bortles before the draft, you already know they're going to take Haskins.
Yeah.
Because Giants are at 6. Jags are at what, 5 or –
Yeah, 7? I think the Jags are 5.
Jags are 5, yeah. I don't know.
So, and I've heard some like crazy thing about maybe the Giants trading with the Cardinals for Josh Rosen because the Giants looked highly on Rosen last year. So
I could actually see that. And then like the Cardinals taking that 6th pick and then them picking up Murray because they love Kyler Murray because of their coach.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I could see that happening. And then Giants taking like Nick Bosa with that top pick because they need some edge help, or even taking like an offensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they cut Olivier Vernon for cap reasons.
Yeah. No, the pass rush is going to be big for them.
If I were the Giants, you release Olivier Vernon, you do that trade, pick up Rosen, and then with that first pick, so you get your quarterback. With that first pick, you pick up Nick Bosa. He'll replace Vernon, and then you get your quarterback, and then you have the cap space that you saved. And then with that cap space, you go out and you sign Roger Saffold.
Well, the Giants need a pass rusher. They need a corner.
So that's Nick Bosa. And then with that cap space, you sign Saffold. So he could be your starting right guard. And then left guard is Will Hernandez. And then your left tackle is Nate Solder.
Yeah.
And then with that
Jamon Brown, it's
Jamon Brown. And then with that second round pick, you get an offensive tackle, which you're going to have a top second rounder.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of moves that can be made. Sports is very unpredictable.
Yeah.
Especially the draft. The draft is probably one of the most unpredictable things.
Because, like, last year,
the NFL draft is more unpredictable than any other draft.
Oh, yeah, because last year,
the only drafts that are really relevant are NBA and NFL.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. No one cares about NHL. No one cares about MLB. No, because MLB is weird. Because I can get drafted this year and then drafted again like 3 years later.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. Then you have like those supplementary or complimentary drafts, whatever they're called for MLB. And then like you get drafted again. Like, wasn't Judge originally drafted by someone else, or someone else on the Yankees was drafted by like the Athletics, and now they're on the like that. I don't know. It's weird. You get drafted by one team, and then like somehow, if you don't move up to a certain level in the minors, you get like released, and then you go back into the draft, and then you can get drafted again.
Yeah, it's a mess, and then it takes so long to get up.
When you get drafted, you're in the system.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They have that weird stuff. Back to the NFL. I hate talking. Baseball is weird.
Yeah, it is.
Minor league contract if you don't make it to the majors in a certain amount of time. It's so weird. I don't know. There's way too many levels in minor league baseball. That's what I don't like. That's because there's so many players. The draft. How many rounds are there in the MLB draft? Like,
oh my god, like
there's like 100.
Doesn't it take like days on end to like do it? Like, it's ridiculous.
It's so stupid. There's way too many rounds. If you're good, you're good. And most of these players that get drafted, they don't even see a field.
Yeah.
For like a year or two.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I kind of like Kyler Murray picking football, because if you went to baseball, who knows if he'd ever see the diamond in Oakland. So, I mean, like, you got to think of it. In baseball, he'd just be another face. In football, he might be a top quarterback. He's going to need to work on his girth. But I don't know. Back to the NFL. Buccaneers signed running back Andre Ellington. Nothing crazy there. Jaguars released kicker Kai Forbath. The Giants safety Landon Collins is expected to get pursued by the Colts if the Giants do not franchise tag him.
Yeah, no, it's I'm not buying into it. I think Landon Collins is kind of,
You think he's
bluffing?
You think he's pulling out the violin?
I think he's bluffing. I think he did all this, saying goodbye stuff, emptying his locker in the locker room. I think it's a bluff. I think it's to get the Giants, the top of the organization to realize, or make him think, oh, I'll leave if you don't, give me a contract. Because, I mean, it's not up to him if they franchise tag him.
Yeah.
I mean,
He
I think
doesn't franchise tag himself.
yeah, the Giants. I think at the least they'll franchise tag him and work on a contract throughout the year and have one ready for next year. I
Yeah.
don't think the Giants are gonna let him go, but I could see them letting go of Olivier Vernon for the cap reasons.
And plus, Vernon has been injured.
He
He's
only
been
played.
injured.
I think
He's
he
been
only played 8 or
injured.
12
His
games last year.
production is down. Everything was not that good with Vernon. It was a great signing when it happened. Got him from the Dolphins. It looked pretty good. And it was like weird. He just like went down, had a couple injuries, and I don't know.
I think the Giants need to do that again this offseason. 2015 and 2016, that offseason, they spent all their money on defense, and their defense was incredible that year.
Yeah.
And they need to do the same thing again because the defense last year kind of reminded me of the 2015 defense that was just god awful.
I don't know. I kind of think they should go after a tight end in free agency.
I mean, let's see. They got Ingram, Scott
Simonson on a 1-year deal. But the thing is, Ingram's always injured, and can you rely on Simonson?
Yeah, I mean he's not. I think Ingram picked it up at the end of last year because they kind of stopped playing him.
Yeah, he's good when he's on the field, but for some reasons they weren't playing him. He wasn't getting as many opportunities as last year.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, they just haven't had that big tight end, presence since Kevin Boss left.
That's what I'm saying is they don't have like a big tight end. Ingram's more of a wide receiver. So they can put a corner on him. They don't have someone that like over the middle, you're like, oh shit, don't leave him open. Like Ingram, it's just like put a corner on him. It's not like he's not really a matchup problem. It's just another receiver on the field. And to me, having a tight end that's really a wide receiver isn't that scary to me. Having a tight end like Rob Gronkowski or like George Kittle, who's big and can catch, it's not that big. He's built like a receiver.
Yeah.
It's not that scary. It's just another wide receiver. So even if you put a corner on him, the corner's going to feel comfortable. And if you put a linebacker on him, the linebacker's going to eat him up if the linebacker's quick enough, obviously. Because if you put a slow-ass linebacker, it's not going to do anything. But more on tight ends in the NFL. Tight end Charles Clay signed a 1-year, $3.25 million deal with the Cardinals. Cardinals have been picking up everyone under the sun. You think the Cardinals can contend next year?
Contend, that's a stretch because that division is still going to be really tough. I mean, I think the Rams are the overwhelming favorite. I think the 49ers are going to peak their nose next year. They'll get Garoppolo back, and if they get AB, I mean, that offense is really scary. And then the Seahawks, they managed to get into the playoffs last year, and I don't think they're going to lose too many players. They played the whole season basically without Earl Thomas, so, I mean, they're not going to retain him, I don't think. So I think they'll be fine. I think they've adjusted.
You think Earl Thomas goes to the Cowboys?
I think so.
That's where I've seen the everything. Him to the Cowboys.
He wants to go there. The Cowboys want him.
Jets, I heard. Maybe Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
My God, if the Chargers, him and Derwin James. Oh my God, that'd be insane. Get rid of Jahlil Addae. I say it every week. I say it every day. I say it every hour. Get rid of Jahlil Addae. They call him the Hitman. Nope. Some more on defensive news out of the NFL. If the Ravens linebacker, well, he's not really their linebacker now. He's a free agent. Middle linebacker, probably he's a top 3 middle linebacker in the NFL. CJ Mosley, if he does hit free agency and they don't tag him or re-sign him earlier, the Cardinals will offer a contract making him the highest paid linebacker in the NFL.
I think that's interesting.
I like that.
I think the Cardinals are trying to go all out. I think they're trying to make a huge, quick rebuild.
My bold prediction, not my official one, because I do like one bold prediction every year. Well, I would say my surprise team for next year is going to be the Cardinals.
Yeah. If they do have Josh Rosen, I think Josh Rosen's going to do better. I mean, he's got a year under his belt now.
I just hope they build in the right positions. Like, I think they should get Nick Bosa. I think they should spend big in free agency on offensive line. Tight end, they're good. Running back, they have David Johnson. If the major keys are building up the defense and building up the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Wide receiver, you can draft that this year, even though it's not deep. There's not many needs for it in the first round.
Yeah.
So they should just. I mean, they do have Christian Kirk and Larry Fitzgerald. That's pretty good, but I don't know. Maybe they sign Golden Tate.
Yeah, Golden Tate would be a good signing for them. Golden Tate did pretty well for the Eagles once he got traded.
I heard Golden Tate to the Steelers can be a possibility.
I mean, everyone of the Steelers now, since they're losing players big time. And does anyone want to go to the Steelers?
Would you go to the Steelers?
No.
No.
I wouldn't. I mean, there's been complaints about every different aspect of the team, whether it's the coaching or the quarterback or just the top of the organization.
Yeah.
No, I haven't heard anything good about it.
More news out of the Steelers. They're not going to tag Le'Veon Bell, making him an unrestricted free agent. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, we all expected it. Now it's just official. So now he's free to sign wherever he wants. The Steelers can't stop it.
I've been saying this. It's going to be the Jets. Texans, Dolphins, maybe Buccaneers. I heard a team to watch for in the Le'Veon Bell sweepstakes, the Atlanta Falcons.
The Atlanta Falcons, I mean, they could use someone. Devontae Freeman, he needs help. Tevin Coleman's going.
Devontae Freeman, he's always injured. Now Le'Veon Bell, and you add Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Mohamed Sanu, Austin Hooper. They have a great offensive line there. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, do they trade for Antonio Brown?
That's the thing. I don't know if they could handle having Antonio Brown and Julio Jones. That's the one thing. You could have two superstar receivers, but it happens they want to be the number one guy. Julio Jones isn't going to back down to be the number two guy. He's going to want his targets. And I think that was the problem with Dez Bryant.
I'd rather pick up Le'Veon Bell if I were the Falcons.
Yeah.
We're going to need some help on defense. They had so many injuries last
year. Yeah. That's what plagued them last year, and they arguably have the best top three wide receiver core in the league. Like, it's up there. Calvin Ridley's really good. I really like Calvin Ridley. And Mohamed Sanu, he's getting up there in age, but, he's still a solid, reliable guy.
He's their 3 receiver. On some teams, he'd be a 1.
Yeah.
So, I mean, think about that. But, I mean, Le'Veon Bell to the Raiders is the equivalent of, Manny Machado to the Padres.
Yeah, he's not going to go there. I mean, I'm sure Le'Veon Bell has some, consideration of wanting to win. I mean, I think
that's what I think Jets is going to be. Jets have a great defense. It's a very underrated defense.
Mm-hmm.
Jets have a good defense. Their offensive line is shaky. They need work on offense.
Yeah.
That's why I think with their cap, they should go Le'Veon Bell, Golden Tate, Roger Sapp. They should go big in free agency on offense.
Yeah, I mean, if the Jets can make the right moves, they go all out. I mean, I think they could be contenders for, a wild card this year.
Yeah. Hopefully. I'm not a Jets fan. I mean, I don't root against them. I'll root for them. I'll root for the Giants because they're my second team. They're my NFC team. But I also root for the Jets because I live near New York. It's kind of that team. I'm if they win the Super Bowl, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Because I don't have anything against them. Mm-hmm. So there are some teams in the NFL that I'll root for, but I'm not a fan of them.
Yeah.
The Packers, Jets, I'm trying to think what else, Dolphins, Falcons. I'm not really a fan, but I kind of root for them. Some teams I hate. I don't like Cowboys, Patriots. I don't like them. I don't like the Bengals. I don't know why. I have something against the Bengals.
I don't know. To me, how dirty they kind of play. I don't know. That's what I see out of them.
I don't like the Steelers.
Oh, it was also crazy. They finally the Bengals got rid of Vontaze Burfict. Yeah. They released him.
I don't know. Well, no, the team came back out and said that they didn't release him, but they're going to release him.
Yeah.
So that's it for the Open Table Sports Daily Recap for February 20th, 2019. We will possibly be back tomorrow, depending on scheduling. I'm open for tomorrow. Dom's most likely open for tomorrow. So we'll be back tomorrow for the Daily Recap, depending on when you're watching this. If you're watching live right now, thank you. Keep watching, and have a good night. Thanks, Dom.